Hello, hello. My name is Mirana Kerner, product coach and mentor. Today, what I wanted to talk about is a topic for an aspiring product manager. If you are an aspiring product manager, and I see that most of the time people ask the question, how do I break into a product management role? If I've never been into product management, how can I start? Or even how can I get into that role? So what I just wanted to share here, and this is really my thought, is you don't need to be, or don't need to have been, to have had the title of product manager to play the role of product manager. And I think it's really been, something that the current system has created, in the sense that the current system is working in such a way that people are looking first and foremost to your certificate, to your degree, if there is any keyword in your resume, otherwise you can't pass the screening process. But to me, if you have never been into product management, doesn't mean that you cannot start your product management journey, right? And for me, you need to work on that limiting belief that's stopping you from getting into the product management journey, because you can practice product without having been officially entitled the title of product manager, right? Because if you just think of what a product is, so it's something that you build through a process and that is addressing a user's need, right? So a pen is a product, a laptop is a product, a website is a product, a mobile app is a product. So if you want to kickstart your journey, what you need to do is not, in my opinion, is not much in rushing, into paying for expensive training, getting the certificate. Yes, this will give you the mental safety net in terms of maybe potentially your CV will be part of the screen, the CV earlier in the process, but this doesn't give you the necessary expertise and experience to really practice product. So to me, if you are if you want to get into that new journey, you can work on a side project, and you can just take a daily life challenge. You can take any social challenge, for example. You can create your one website. You see entrepreneurs, they need their website, or they need their automation tool. So you can help out these entrepreneurs, for free, and in exchange they give you testimonials, for example. So it doesn't need to be like you are a good product manager if you've been working in bank, or if you've been doing some $1 million product in an official organization. You can break into product without this, and by just taking the initiative on working on solving someone's problem, and working on a product for someone, and you can work for it for free. You are practicing product, you are taking the necessary, you are learning the necessary techniques, you are learning the necessary skills, and you are practicing. Because to me, I really believe that experience, result matter way more than certificate. And I myself have been delivering product trainings, today's product trainings in my past life, which I found is interesting, because it's a good way to kickstart the knowledge, right? You have the buzzword, you have the foundation of the knowledge, but you don't practice enough. So my recommendation to you is, if you want to break into the product, so really think of an existing social challenge, be it your own website, be it an entrepreneur's website, be it an automation tool, be it, a NGO or a caritative association who needs help, and you start to work with it. It could be for free. What's important for you in this is to get the learning, to get the experience, to practice, right? Because if you start from scratch, and really the way to learn it is to start from scratch, you really have a greater opportunity to start from really the blank paper, where you've got the ideation until it goes live, and your product grows, and you have your first thousands of users, 10,000 of users, and that experience is really way more valuable than people who have been working in a corporate environment, where what they have been doing was just waiting for the information to come, and they're just writing the specs or writing just a user story without really understanding even what does the market need, who's their users, having done all this discovery process. So they're just coming to execute. I think your experience will be way more valuable because you have gone through the end-to-end journey of the dual track, doing both discovery and delivery. So to me, if you want to get into product, the first step that you should do is not much what is the training that I need to attend. The first step that you need to do is, how can I practice fast? And for this, you take any challenge. You start from the ideation, you talk to users, you understand what is the challenge, what are the pain points, what are the opportunities. And then from this, you start ideating on, based on this problem, what would be the solution I would offer, because at the end of the day, building a product is answering the user's need, right? Is answering someone's need, creating the desired outcome, and making a high impact within the organization. So you can really take an existing challenge, be it you can work with entrepreneur. Yeah, let me work with you, to work on your website. So I talk to your users, to what are the keywords used by your users, who's your ideal customer. So let me create, the persona of the ideal customer. Who's he? What's his pain point? What is he trying to achieve? What are his jobs to be done? What are his emotional needs? What are his functional needs? What are his social needs? And then from there, you help him out, creating the business model. You can use the business model canvas, you can use the lean canvas. And then from there, then you can start going deeper and practicing building, for example, the opportunity backlog or value proposition canvas, and you are doing all your modeling, and then it's really a safe place for you to learn and to practice all these techniques, but also to practice more than just product techniques, because when you're going into product, you're going to learn to negotiate, you are going to learn to communicate, you are going to learn to talk to users, you're going to manage stakeholders' expectation. Even if it's just one stakeholder, it's already a stakeholder, right? You have to manage dependencies because you're not in control of everything, and that's the real life in organization. You can't control everything. So you can really work on all the discovery and using all the discovery technique, right? The business model canvas, the value proposition canvas, the persona, then you have the jobs to be done, then you have the opportunity backlog, then you run your experiment, then you get with your test cards and learning cards to see what did you come up with, and then you can iterate on the experiment, and then you can start creating your story mapping, mapping out the journey, and then creating the product backlog, and then capturing the user stories. And then you can go and build whatever website, mobile app. It could be a service, it could be an offering for a restaurant. It doesn't need to always be a digital product. However, if you are looking into becoming a digital product owner, it's better that you practice with digital product, but it doesn't need to be a digital product at all, right? What's important here is you feel and sense the experience of building a product, really from discovery till its discovery, and that iterative process of learning, experimenting, and adjusting based on what exactly your users need, and going out and adjusting and seeing your product growing in terms of, at the beginning you have one user, and maybe one user for 1 month, and what could be your strategy and your approach, to go further to get your first 10 users and the first 100 users and your first 1,000 users. So just to summarize, for aspiring product managers who want to get into product, practice from a daily life challenge, practice from a daily life social challenge. Don't rush into training. Trainings are going to give you some theoretical knowledge, but practice, and it gives you much more experience than just going for the training.